notifications and saw that our Instagram page had grown by 100,000 followers in 24 hours. But the truth is that most things don't happen overnight. When we reflect on Feel Good Club, we realise now that so much of our lives led to this moment. The heartaches, the failed ideas, the Monday mornings stuck in traffic, wondering whether we were actually cut out to do this for the next 50 years, and especially our own struggles with mental health. All these things played a part in us giving birth to this business. The contribution of all those things, and because it's our baby, is why it's so personal to us. Those things are also the reason that starting Feel Good Club was never about creating the most financially successful business in the world, but about being the voice we needed to hear when we were struggling most. We, Aimie and Kiera, are the wives behind Feel Good Club. We met at university in 2009 and were constantly doing something, starting businesses, putting on club nights or organising the best house parties Stafford has ever seen. Aimie was the organiser and Kiera was a musician working towards a record deal that she later turned down to prioritise her mental health. Neither of us were at uni for very long before we realised that we definitely weren't there for the lectures. But looking back, we now understand that what we learnt there taught us so much about what we needed in our journey to starting Feel Good Club. Nope, it wasn't business, we didn't study anything like that, but the freedom to create and find ourselves, as well as the people we met who later became good friends, all gave us the tools and passion we needed. After a whirlwind first year together, we decided to take a break in our relationship. It was around this time that an eating disorder really started to take hold of Kiera. It spiralled out of control and the pounds began to drop off her. She'd always been the fixer in our various ventures, the one who was always okay, the one people went to when they needed help. So she felt she couldn't possibly be the one to ask for it. It's only now that we both realise how much support she would have had if only she'd allowed herself to open up. A couple of years in, Kiera arrived home to her parents in Birmingham to find dinner on the table, so she used the same excuse she'd used a million times before. Don't worry, I had a McDonald's on the way home, then ran upstairs for a bath. It was the days when, after a night out, people would upload loads of pictures to Facebook. But this time, as Kiera scrolled through the ones that had been posted, something clicked in her head and she finally saw what she actually looked like. Her hair had started to fall out and her bones were visible. At the same time, Aimie sent her a message. "You look terrible. Are you okay?" This was when Kiera's recovery started. She read thousands of articles, watched hundreds of documentaries, and started to learn more and more about her own mental health and how to improve it. One of the biggest turning points was starting the earliest form of Feel Good Club in 2014. Kiera was still struggling with on and off recovery and decided she needed something positive to focus her time and energy on. So she started the very first Feel Good Club Instagram page, an extremely cheesy version of what it is now. It actually did pretty well, but without any money to invest in it, she ended up getting a real job as head of happiness for a social media agency. And Feel Good Club was put on hold, but we both always knew we'd come back to it. After getting married in 2019, we did just that, and Feel Good Club was born again. Our first stumbling block was financials, as we had nothing to invest in the business, but we knew that the original reason we wanted to start it was too important to ignore. Then, just as we were about to give up, we got a mystery £500 refund from Airbnb, and we promised to pay it back if it turns out to be a mistake, and decided to buy a screen printer and teach ourselves how to use it, with the idea that wearing a piece of Feel Good Club merchandise would remind everyone of the things we stood for and talked about online, a reminder that good days were on the way. We started the Instagram page with no expectations, just the goal to make one person feel better about themselves each day and to be the voice that Kiera had needed to hear when she was struggling most. The things we discussed on Instagram, talking about mental health and feelings in general and normalising the discussion, started to resonate with people. And even though we got off to a few faulty starts with our screen printing skills, the clothing started to do well too. Ultimately, what we wanted for Feel Good Club was a physical space. We dreamt of owning our own coffee house, bar and event space for years, and it felt like the perfect way to take what we had talked about online into the real world and provide a safe space for people to come to, no matter who they were or what they were feeling. A space to meet people, learn new things and bring people together. Even though we couldn't see a world in which this would be possible without winning the lottery, we kept talking about it. We put it on our vision board and wrote on our fridge, Feel Good Club Coffee House, Northern Quarter, 2020. Every morning before getting ready to leave for a job she hated, Aimie read that sign out loud, determined that we'd get there one day. It's funny to think now how much we believed we'd get there, even without any solid means of doing it. One evening, we sat in a bar after work.